I'm eating at all 100 restaurants on the New York Times Top 100 list, and today we're going for some South Indian food in the basement of a temple. This is spot 80, Temple Canteen. The temple's located in Queens, and when you get there, you go through the side door and down a flight of stairs. Before entering the fairly large space, it's all cafeteria style. The most expensive thing on the menu is $11, and everything is also vegetarian. We got way too excited and ordered too much, so we had literally 3 trays of food. Here's the spread, and also disclaimer, I do try really hard with pronunciation. Do look it up. I'm gonna do my best. They had a fridge full of mango lassis, so sold. Starting with the tamarind rice. It was delicious, a little sour, a little sweet. Then we have the spicy podi idli. Almost everything came with this green coconut chutney. These were good, but I liked the red onion samba vada better. The vada is a fried snack made of like lentils and vegetables and greens. But out of everything, I was most excited for the dosas. We got 2, the first being the pondicherry dosa. I loved the sambar it came with. But the paneer butter masala dosa stole the show. By far my favorite thing I had. The crispy lentil crepe with the potato filling and the mound of butter was perfect. All in all, a really cool spot to get some affordable vegetarian South Indian cuisine in New York City. And today we're going to this Mexican seafood shop ranked 79th on Mr. Wells' list. Mariscos El Submarino has 2 locations, one in Jackson Heights and one in Greenpoint. And let me just say they make a mean mango margarita. The menu has a few different sections on it, and one being tacos. This was the shrimp taco, and it had like a crusted cheese on it. It was good, but it wasn't my favorite taco. I definitely much preferred the octopus and the fried fish taco. Honestly, I think the fish taco was my favorite, but that also may be because it was loaded with sauce, and I just love anything with sauce. But the octopus taco has some chihuahua cheese in there too, and it's delicious. They have a whole thing of tostadas. I think you can skip this. I was kind of underwhelmed by this, and it was so difficult to eat. Instead, get the aguachile. It's packed with raw fish, shrimp, octopus. It's so good. It's sweet. It's sour. Dare I say it's refreshing? The shrimp cocktail is also great too, and they give you saltines to eat it with. I think this is the perfect meal to have on a hot summer day. I think all in all, it would make my top 100. Today we are going to one of the most famous diners in all of New York City. This is spot 78 S&P Lunch, known for their tuna melt, and while I think it's really great, it's not my favorite tuna melt in the city. However, they know how to make a damn good tuna salad sandwich. Looks like I could make this at home, but I just know it wouldn't taste the same. They make some great latkes. There was chilled grapefruit on the menu, so I ordered it, and it was the best grapefruit I've ever had. They have some good pastrami too. You can either get it in a sandwich, get it in egg. Whether you want breakfast or lunch, you can really get anything, including a grilled peanut butter and bacon sandwich. I love S&P. I think they have great food. I think they have a great atmosphere. No doubt it would make my top 100. Today we're going to a spot I don't think should be on the list. Oiji Mi is a Korean tasting menu, $145 a person. I do love the inside, the decor, the vibe. They give you this magic little towel with tea. I thoroughly enjoyed the first course. It was a beef tartare, a spotted prawn, and then this pumpkin dish. Round 1 you don't choose, but the rest you do. So for the second course, we opted for the bosam. Basically a pork belly lettuce wrap, but it came with 6 oysters that you were supposed to add into the lettuce wrap. The oysters were really throwing me off, and they didn't feel super fresh. Third course, there was 3 options. So I got the chili lobster ramyun, which is delicious, and then we also got the octopus and wagyu broth. I feel like the octopus was almost there for me. I just wasn't dying to go back for more. The fourth course, I got the duck. I loved the duck. I thought it was great. And then Andrew picked the sea bass. Another dish I just didn't want to eat more of. Both desserts are great, the bingsu and the donuts. The donuts were probably my favorite thing I had all night. For me, if I'm going back to a Korean tasting menu, I'm going back to Jua. They both have the same ease in booking, and they're almost identical in price point. Oiji Mi is not bad. I just don't think I would put it on my top 100 list. At risk of sounding too rash with this might be a top 3 restaurant on the entire list for me. We're going to Llama Inn, a Peruvian restaurant in Williamsburg. Pete has it ranked at spot 76. You have to start with the ceviche. It's a mandatory. This was a scallop ceviche, which was delicious, but I actually think I liked the tuna better. Regardless, I don't think you can go wrong with either. They had a few different skewers on the menu, and I don't know why the mushroom one was calling me, but yet again, another banger. They brought us over the pork collar by accident, and honestly was mad at myself that I didn't think to order this originally. And then there were pigtails on the menu, and I had to try them. They were like a less meaty rib. Okay, and then the big menu item is the lomo saltado. It's $100. Basically, under this mound of fries is the most tender, juicy steak. And then it comes with scallion pancakes, rice, chili serranos, guac, and you essentially make a taco out of it. I could eat this every single day. It also lasted us 4 meals. I'm actually obsessed with this place. If you come here, sit at the chef's counter. Where should I go to next? And today we're going to a restaurant that serves solely vegetables on a tasting menu. Their candy is 75th on the list, and it's $110 per person. You can also see at the bottom, they're a non-tipping establishment. They pay a fair wage and benefits. So we're here to talk about what I ate. I started with a mocktail. Best mocktail I've ever had. It was yellow bell pepper and chili. It was tart, it was sweet, it wasn't too sweet. Course 1 is a potato pierogi with seaweed caviar and caramelized onions. Decadent and delicious. You could have fooled me with the caviar. The second course is their take on takoyaki, with celery being the star, and it comes with a side of celery miso soup. I thought this was a fun dish. I thoroughly enjoyed. I liked the pierogi a little better, but I just love how creative they are. They brought over another course that was not on the menu originally. A fried beet moment. It was creamy, it was crispy. The next course was all about kale rice cakes, kale broth, kale kimchi. I personally love love kale and I love soup, so it worked for me. The last savory course was a pickled cabbage with yuba, avocado, cumin. It's their take on a cabbage roll using tofu skin. I don't know how they're so creative. The dessert course highlights squash. Decaf coffee is poured over top. Had a similar flavor profile to banana bread. Might be my top choice of dessert, but I liked it. I really love dessert candy, and I love the way that they're highlighting vegetables. I fully believe you do not eat meat to have a great meal. And one last thing, I wasn't having a great day prior to this meal. The servers absolutely changed that for me. They were wonderful. And today we're going to Ayat, a Palestinian restaurant that falls 74th on the list. They bring you out a little bowl of olives, and I love olives, so great little app. An absolute must get here is the mixed meze platter. On it, you can find hummus, baba ganoush, muamara, tabbouleh, salada tahina, and labna. Labna is my favorite. I think the salada tahina was my second favorite. For a drink, I got this mint lemonade, which is a mocktail. Although it looks like a cocktail, it's very beautiful. I was obsessed with it. And then Andrew ordered the yogurt drink because he's literally obsessed with yogurt. It was a little too tart for my taste, but he's yogurt's #1 fan. For mains, we got the lamb uzi royale. Look at how tender this lamb was. I was obsessed. The rice was fire too. The fatah hummus platter I didn't like as much. It had crispy pita in it, a ton of hummus obviously, meat, rice, chickpeas. I did, however, love the mixed grill platter. Had chicken and beef kebabs, kofta, and lamb chops over a bed of rice and some salad. Overall, I loved the food at Ayat. They have a ton of locations. I have literal dreams about that meze platter, so I think it's safe to say they'd make my top 100. Today we're going to a spot that kind of has a little bit of everything. Mark's Off Madison is 73rd on the list and has a fat menu spanning from Jewish cuisine to Italian. Let me start by saying the bread basket is free. They make all the breads in-house, and that was the best sourdough I've ever had in my life. They also make their own bagels. To start, we got the zucchini chips, which were decent. They were fine. The portion size was crazy. They're known, though, for their fries, and they were honestly some of the best fries I've ever had, too. And as a sauce girl, I love the trio of sauces it comes with. They had a couple pizzas on their menu. I'm always skeptical of pizzas that don't come from pizza-forward restaurants. This was the clam pie. Honestly, I did not like this. It was so oily and dense. Very much not for me. Their lasagna has gone viral before. It's a great lasagna. I don't know if it's the best lasagna I've ever had, but like definitely up there. The bullet base was not it. All of the seafood was overcooked and the broth wasn't super flavorful. It came with toast and aioli, but the aioli was like hot. It was weird. I liked the lemon icebox cake. It was fine. I think Mark's does some things amazingly and then others are really lacking. At this point, I'm indifferent on if they'd make my list. I really did love that sourdough though. I bought a whole loaf. And today we're going to spot 72. They're new to the list and located in Sunset Park, Brooklyn. We're going to Hainanese Chicken House. The absolute best thing I had was this house fried chicken with the coconut laksa sauce on top. Legit bathed me in that sauce. I was also obsessed with the calamansi limeade with a ginger shot in it. It was so good. Their bread and butter is the Hainanese chicken. I got the 3-meat combo because I wanted to try it all, which comes with the side of chicken stock, a ginger scallion sauce, dark soy, and a chili sauce. I've had this dish before and I loved the poached chicken, but honestly, this is my least favorite. My preference was with the roast chicken. I'm not sure what it was. I just liked the flavor better this time. But the pork belly was shockingly my favorite of the 3. I could not come here without trying some Malaysian soup, so I got the curry laksa, a spicy coconut broth with egg noodles, rice noodles, shrimp, chicken, puffed tofu. I was obsessed with the asparagus and a sesame dressing, which I ended up liking a little more than the watercress with soy. The ube flan was a little bit underwhelming. It was literally just ube cake with flan stacked on top. Overall, I liked some dishes more than the other, but I did not have a bad bite here. Would easily make my top 100. Today we're going to a spot that dropped 50 spots from last year. We're dining at spot 71, Shukette. The menu's basically split up into 3 sections with dips, apps, and then meats. So starting with the squash, it was delicious. It had pumpkin seeds, harissa, it had a little bit of a bite, but the labna blew it out of the water with the saffron-soaked apricots. Probably the best labna I've ever had. We got the farina bread as our vehicle for the dips, which was good. I enjoyed the shawarma spiced fries, although I do think the white harissa dip is necessary. I wanted to love the sweet potatoes, but they were undercooked. I see a lot of people get the fish in the cage, so I was very intrigued by it. I thought it was seasoned well. I love all of the sauces it comes with. There's some potatoes sprinkled in there. I thought this was a decent option for a main, but I wasn't obsessed. I liked the broccolini a lot, a nice side veg. The chicken was so dry, so dry. It was honestly a little hard to eat. The flavor was there though. For dessert, I had to get the tahini soft serve. If you're into this flavor profile, you'll love it. Overall, I was a little disappointed here. Very well could have been an off day. The restaurant was absolutely packed, so people clearly like it. Today we're going to one of the most affordable spots on the list for some tacos. This is spot 70, Birria-Landia. They have a couple food trucks around the city and a very short menu. By the time we ordered, paid, and picked it up, it was like 3 minutes. Because they're secured, we got some pickled onions and salsa on the side. And appreciation for the spread. They are so beautiful. A lot of people say this is their favorite taco in New York City. The side of consomme you can get it with is huge. And that was considered the small. Okay, a little dunk shot. I've had them before, but I will say the meat is so tender and flavorful. It truly is a delicious taco. This time around, I was told to get a mulita, which is basically a quesadilla taco hybrid. And low-key, I think this was my preference. This one was jam-packed and cheesier. This was both of our preferences, so just keeping that in mind if you end up going. As much as I do really enjoy these tacos, he took my beloved Taqueria Ramirez off the list, and those for me rank above Birria-Landia. Today we're going to a spot that has no menu and you actually pick the seafood you're going to eat. We're going to AbuQir Seafood. Pretty chaotic in there. You get called up to the front to order. The green salad was so fresh and delicious and packed with dill. It was so good. They also have some spreads. We got this eggplant one. I solely knew to order this from the other tables around us because literally there is no menu. The calamari is great. It's seasoned really well. I will say there's a hefty amount of breading for my taste. The octopus was probably my favorite thing that we got. Sitting in a hot oil with big chunks of garlic. Like, come on. I was so excited for the scallops and they look so good, but they were kind of fishy. So kind of a letdown. The lovely man taking our order told us we had to get the blackened branzino, so we ordered one of those. The flavors were good, but I had to squeeze a ton of lemon on it to make it a little less dry. There's 69th on the list, and my meal wasn't bad, but for the same concept, I like Astoria seafood just a little more. Today we're going to a beloved hot pot place in Flushing. Chongqing Lao Zao is 68th on the list, and it's known for their long waits and super spicy broth. You enter through this wooden door, and the restaurant is beautiful inside. Started by making the sauce, which is one of my favorite parts. Thankfully, they passed out aprons because I'm an idiot and decided to wear white. They dropped these little freebies at the table, and then they set up our hot pot. We did the dual pot, half mushroom, and then half of the mild beef tallow. I wanted to get medium, and our waiter was literally like, I don't think you should do that. I trusted him. He was right. We started with the shrimp balls, which is one of my favorites. And then I just went rogue, ordering a bunch of different items, including a lot of beef, rice cakes, of course. They're the best. And more meat, but there is so much to order on this menu. Literally over 100 things to choose from. The milky beef was interesting to me, so I wanted to order that. It basically sits in a milk marinade. Personally, I'm a fan of just the regular beef, which we got like 3 to 4 cuts of. And it was all delicious. I had a really great experience here. If you're into hot pot, you're around the Flushing area, this is definitely a place to stop by. And today we're going to spot 67 for some French food. Le Crocodile is a huge Williamsburg spot with a pretty decent menu. Started with the mushroom pate, which actually comes with bread. I personally love mushroom pate. I don't see it on a menu often. It's spread like butter. It also typically comes with truffle, but we're not the biggest truffle fans, so we opted out. Okay, one of my favorite soups is French onion soup, obviously. Theirs was delish. It did have a little too much cheese for my liking. It was actually like 50% cheese, but really good regardless. This was my first time trying a Waldorf salad, and I tried it because Pete wrote about it. No shade to Le Crocodile for the Waldorf salad because they didn't invent it. I just don't think I'm obsessed with the combo of blue cheese, apples, celery, and mayo. The salmon tartare was good. It wasn't like mind-blowing. And then we got the steak frites because I feel like that's a must when you go to a French restaurant. It was good, but I wish the steak had a little more flavor. The duck and swordfish, though, both looked insane. Dessert was sticky banana date pudding, though, and that was... oh my god, so delicious. I think Le Crocodile has a lot of potential. The pate soup and dessert, excellent. I can't knock this place. I sniff potential from it. Today we're going to Barney Greengrass. They jumped up 25 places from last year, landing them in spot 66. This Jewish deli looks like it has been untouched since it opened in 1908. These are the best latkes I have ever had. Apparently they're not on the menu. The waitress said that they had them that day, but I think they always have them. You obviously have to get the smoked fish. It's what they're known for, but more specifically the sturgeon. We got 2 bagels, a pumpernickel, and an everything. This was my first time having sturgeon, and it literally tastes like turkey. So I'm glad we also got the smoked salmon because that is much more my speed. The bagels are decent. They don't make them there, and I had never heard of their supplier before. So I don't know. The Reuben, oh my god, so heavy, but so delicious. It's technically a sandwich, but you literally couldn't pick it up if you tried. This place is absolutely no frills, but there's a charm about it. They're also so kind. I didn't realize it was cash only. They're like, no problem. Go hit the ATM 10 minutes down the road. Come back whenever you have cash. No problem. Barney Greengrass, you make my top 100. Today we're going to one of the more casual spots. We're going to spot 65, Falafel Tanami. There's not much to the menu other than falafel, and I had no idea what any of the toppings were, so I just said add them all. It's mainly a takeout spot, but they do have a little outdoor seating. They jam pack about 4 hot falafels in there. It's pretty filling. And then I got it with a bunch of crispy vegetables, some pickles. I believe there was a sauce in there. I haven't had much falafel in my day. I'm not experienced in this department, but it was very good. I'm starting to think maybe I've just had bad falafel in my life, or perhaps I haven't had it enough. I also got 2 different peppers to eat it with. I didn't love the first one, but the second one I did. And the only other thing they have on the menu is sabich. I'm not sure how to pronounce it, but it's basically like roasted fried eggplant, and egg, and hummus. I definitely prefer the falafel over this. I enjoyed what I had here, but I'm definitely not traveling over an hour to come for this. It's got me all over New York City, even for just a little sandwich. And today we're going to a spot that's fairly popular among tourists due to its location in Rockefeller Plaza. We're dining at spot 64, Lodi. Started with the $5 bread plate and the house-made ricotta. Both a solid jump to the meal. We got a thing of garlicky mushrooms, which were quite delish. They were a little oily. And some meatballs. I feel like I'm a tough critic of meatballs. I actually really loved Lodi's. The arancini is good. I like the Calabrian chili it comes with. Arancini's not my favorite, but it's a decent app. I'll give it that. I enjoyed the gnocchi with honey and truffle. The tuna tartare was a little boring. It needed like salt or something. For mains, this may not look like much, but this arrabbiata was my favorite dish of the night. Pasta was perfectly cooked. I really liked their sauce. This squash dish was not for me. There was way too much vinegar in it. And for the big course of the night, we got the chicken Milanese. I thought it was the perfect thin, crispy cutlet. I do wish it came with a bed of arugula, but I did get this tray of sauces, and I am a sauce girl. To finish for dessert, we got a piece of this passion fruit pie, and it was excellent. I don't think I'm going out of my way to dine at Lodi, but I did have an enjoyable dinner here. And today we're going to spot 63, Kraft. Kraft has been around since 2001, serving up new American-style dishes. Started with the bread. It's solid bread, and it was complimentary, which always makes it taste good. They then brought over these little cups of butternut butternut squash soup, which I did not like. It was essentially flavorless. All right, the first dish we ordered was the risotto with mushrooms. Maybe I was expecting a little more flavor or oomph to it, but it was a fairly subtle dish. Then we have the octopus. A little bit overcooked in my opinion. I think they saw me filming and they so kindly brought out the agnolotti with truffle. Low-key, I'm glad that they did because this is one of my favorite dishes of the night. It was buttery and delicate and the sage flavor was perfect. We were told the short rib has been on the menu since they opened, so we ordered that. Super tender, but again, just missing that depth of flavor. The halibut sits on top of a white creamy sauce with tons of dill, which I like. All the sides come separately, so we got the roasted Brussels sprouts, and they were fine. They did the trick of having a vegetable on the table, but the potato puree was everything. It almost looks like melted cheese. One of my favorite things of the night. And then for dessert, we got the chocolate souffle. It was rich, it was decadent. Look, at Kraft, you're gonna get a solid meal. Is it gonna rock your world? Probably not. It didn't for me. And today we're going to a spot that dropped down 21 spots from last year. Txikito's is a Basque restaurant and it's 62nd on the list. The fries and the peppers are a delicious start. And I love the shishitos too. For crudo, we got the hamachi and it looks pretty beautiful. And it doesn't taste bad, but it was a little underwhelming. I think their most well-known dish is probably the octopus carpaccio. It comes with bread. It just was missing some flavor. I just wanted more to it. The artichokes with the hamon and egg was decent. I don't know, I just kept wanting more from all of these dishes. The bamba rice with uni was probably my favorite dish of the night, but the swordfish belly was so forgetful. If I wasn't making this video, I would have forgotten that I ever ate it. We finished with the Basque cheesecake, which was good. There are some decent dishes here, but a lot just fell flat for me. I'm not dying to go back here, so I don't know. I don't think it would make my top 100. Today we're going to a spot where I had quite literally one of the best meals of my life. Aska is a Scandinavian tasty menu and it's 61st on the list. They start you with snacks. So first was the sea oak, this pressed German turnip cabbage, and then a roe tart. A 10-course lunch is $228 and a 12 to 14-course dinner is $298. We did lunch. The first actual course was a tail of lobster from Maine with the most delicious foam. Then some live scallops, which they said came in the door 3 minutes before we did. Their signature dish was the langoustine, which was literally unreal. The chefs rotate bringing the dishes out to your table. They're so kind and personable. I've been to fine dining restaurants where they're a little bit robotic. We didn't order wine, but the chef insisted that we had one with the next course, which was actually my favorite course. Cake topped with blue caviar, and the chef joked it's because they're fancy. Sitting in a Swedish dark beer and dill sauce. And the best part is they bring out you freshly baked milk bread and pine butter, which you can use to sop up all the sauce. We didn't leave a drop of food on the plate. The last savory course was dry-aged quail. We were raving so much about the bread, they brought us over more, which we used to sop up all the sauce again. Then comes the 40 rounds of desserts. This was a gooseberry tart. Then we have a milk sorbet with meadowsweet cordial and all these other little goodies too. I actually left feeling a little too full. Probably shouldn't have eaten the second loaf of bread, but oh well. The food is excellent. The staff is incredible. It's expensive, yes, but it is the best fine dining experience I've had. I don't have a single negative thing to say.